Hello YouTube, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to the next Super Smash Bros. Discussion video. First things first, before I get on today's topic, I wanted to ask a quick question to all of you that have seen my recent ones, the Sonic versus other Sega representation, the Shantae and Doom Guy videos. I recorded off the PS4, playing gameplay. I wanted to ask you all, first and foremost, what do you guys think of that, and should I be doing that more so going in the future? I'm obviously not going to stop this, because I'm so used to doing this, and having visual aids, printing off pictures, doing lists, and whatever the heck else. Once I start printing that stuff off more, kinda haven't really, had time to actually print stuff off and go out and create visual aids for videos lately, because you know what, and I'm just busy at work. But I plan on doing that more going in the future with my videos where I actually record myself in front of the camera for you guys. But asking you guys, the gameplay videos, is that pretty cool and all? I liked it. I have to get used to it though, because I kind of got sidetracked. If you actually watch those videos, besides the Sonic one a little bit, the Shantae and Doom Guy one actually do kind of get a little bit sidetracked because I'm playing a game. I'm trying to talk about a certain topic while playing a game, and that can get a little confusing sometimes. It's not like a Let's Play, but I'll try my best. But I wanted to ask you guys, first and foremost, if you've seen those, what do you guys think of them? And as for today's topic, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, especially because I just talked about Doom Guy, and I mentioned this in that video, and people have been wanting characters from this franchise in Smash Bros. For a while, and I have to ask a question about Mortal Kombat. Does Mortal Kombat deserve to be in Smash Bros.? And just like always, and this is just going to be like the character videos, except I'm going to be talking about a whole entire franchise rather than, one singular character. And I'm going to have the yeses and the nos, why it makes sense, why it doesn't make sense, why it should happen, and why it shouldn't. And I'm kind of in the middle on this. As a fan of Mortal Kombat, it'd be cool to see it in Smash Bros., but I also can see why it doesn't make it in Smash Bros. If it never does, just like I said with the Doom Guy. I'm kind of even Steven in the middle. I like Doom, but I don't really care so much if Doom gets in, Doom Guy, Doom Slayer gets in one way or the other. Mortal Kombat ever gets into Smash Bros. One day, that's cool, but tomato, tomato, it doesn't really matter so much to me. I don't really care if he doesn't, because I understand why, because there are obvious reasons why Mortal Kombat would never make it into Smash Bros. So let's start off with the negatives. Okay, first and foremost, for those of you that don't know what Mortal Kombat is, which I don't know why, it's been around since 1992 by Midway Games. Now it's NetherRealm Studios, since Midway went out of business around what, 2008ish, 9ish, something like that. Created Mortal Kombat, a brutal, like they did realistic photographic people beating each other up. It was a violent, M-rated Western fighting game that to rival the likes of like Street Fighter, and it pretty much was one of the major rivals for Street Fighter back in the day, and it's still one of the major rivals for Street Fighter in the gaming scene right now. And it's going on like 11, 12 games, spin-offs, movies. They're doing a new movie, animated stuff, fatalities, just an M-rated fighting game. That pretty much was one of the major reasons, besides Night Trap, they created the ESRB system and ratings for the games. There you go, quick synopsis, but I'm sure you already knew that. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about Mortal Kombat. Why does it not make sense? First and foremost, and I said the same thing with Doom Guy, it being an M-rated franchise is a hindrance, a major hindrance, because it's a very bloody, M-rated franchise, M-rated Western franchise, which Smash Bros. Has not seen. We have stuff like Persona and Bayonetta and Metal Gear Solid, but those are Japanese M-rated franchises, and they don't go to the levels of blood and guts and violence like Mortal Kombat or Doom do. So, with that being said, I can see why Sakurai, Nintendo don't want Mortal Kombat represented in Smash Brothers. It's this very graphic, and it's gonna be hard to kind of censor that in Smash Brothers, unless you go like the old Super Nintendo first Mortal Kombat route and you take out the blood and the fatalities and all that stuff, and you just make make it like Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, or super censor whatever character you put in the Smash Brothers. Unless you can put a character in there that doesn't need a lot of super censoring. So that varies right there. But a lot of people are gonna hate that. So it's like, can you give justice to a Mortal Kombat representative Smash Bros. I know a lot of people say about, like, to represent like an iconic fighting game franchise alongside Fatal Fury and Street Fighter and others that are not yet in Smash Bros. Like Soul Calibur, Tekken, and King of Fighters and Blaze Blue and whatnot. Yes, I understand that, and some of those may eventually get characters, and some of those have gotten characters. We got Terry Bogard, we got Ryu and Ken, but those are from fighting games that aren't like M-rated violent. And I know that Mortal Kombat's a super iconic, super long-running series, but the first and foremost thing for why I would say no, it doesn't fit in Smash Brothers, it should be represented in Smash Brothers, it doesn't really make sense for Smash Brothers, and it's probably not going to ever be picked for Smash Brothers, is because of that first and foremost thing, it being super M-rated, super blood guts, fatalities, violent, and whatnot. And also, since Smash Brothers is a Nintendo franchise, a Japanese franchise, a Japanese company's franchise, Mortal Kombat, while having popularity in Japan, is usually, most of Mortal Kombat's popularity is in America. It's in Europe. It's in, like, outside of Japan. There is some popularity for Mortal Kombat in Japan, but it's never going to reach the lengths of, you know, outside of Japan. It's censored there. They don't, like, Japan's not super big on violence, but sometimes it is, like in anime and video games, but it's not to the level of like a Mortal Kombat would be, like us Westerners and people in Europe and all they're used to. And a lot of their games are either, a lot of the Mortal Kombat games I don't think ever made it to Japan, let alone they were censored in Japan. And I think that's going to be a hindrance because of Smash Bros. Having such a big Japanese audience. I don't know if they want to put it in there, but they have put characters that have had more of a Western influence in there, so I can see that counterbalancing it, or characters that are more popular and, you know, made prominence outside of Japan. Like Banjo-Kazooie came in, even though Banjo-Kazooie's kind of popular in Japan, is a Western-based character, but we haven't really seen too many Western-based characters, so until that trend really starts, you know, getting knocked out, like us getting more Western-based characters, that alone would probably say no to Mortal Kombat. So really, those are the two biggest things. Like, very M-rated franchise, very violent, like not really big in Japan, censored in Japan, some games have been made in Japan. There's not really that much of a Western influence in Smash Bros. Yet, besides a couple characters. And really, you're going to throw Scorpion or Sub-Zero or Raiden or Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or Reptile or Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung and have them standing next to like Mario and Link and Peach and Marth and Roy and Yoshi and Captain Falcon and whatnot, and have it kind of make sense. At least Ryu and Ken and Terry Bogard all kind of fit in the same aesthetic of like a Marth and a Link and a Captain Falcon and a Bayonetta and freaking like Ness and the Pokemon and whatnot. But those characters, unless you go for more like the super classic designs, which you could kind of get to fit into almost a visual design, probably would kind of stand out a lot more than some of those third parties like Snake and Bayonetta already kind of do. But with that being said, that is it for the no's, and those are some pretty big no's. But let's go on with some of the yeses for why I think Mortal Kombat does deserve and does make sense to be added to Smash Bros. First and foremost, long-running, iconic fighting game franchise. Smash Bros. Is already a fighting game. I know Sakurai doesn't consider it that much of a fighting game, even though it gets awards, and it's a fighting game, you're beating people up. It's just not a traditional fighting game, but Smash Bros. Is a fighting game, and you hodgepodge all these all-star characters from around the world, from Nintendo or otherwise, into one game, and that includes fighting game characters, and we already got Fatal Fury, and, you know, King of Fighters with Terry Bogard, we got the Street Fighter franchise with Ryu and Ken. We could easily see other, you know, fighting games get in. I mean, it's not just Mortal Kombat, but like fighting game characters already fit the bill and have movesets aplenty for Smash Brothers. And Mortal Kombat is one of the most iconic fighting games ever. Coming out in 1992, one of the biggest fighting games in the 90s fighting game scene, which was a big resurgence, birth of the franchise and whatnot, for those of you that grew up back then. And it still is one of the biggest fighting game franchises nowadays, one of the most popular, one of the most selling, and super iconic characters. Almost everyone knows Scorpion, or Liu Kang, or Johnny Cage, or Sub-Zero, or Reptile, or Shang Tsung, or Sonya Blade, or Jax, or anyone. They're all iconic. So you can't really, like, I think they already fit. And like one of the main things about Smash Bros. Is putting in iconic characters. I think that's it. And it's also the biggest rival I think Street Fighter's ever had, and Street Fighter's in there, so people for years have been wanting Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. This could be their moment in Smash Brothers. And like, the movesets would fit, and I do think you can kind of censor them and get away with stuff without fatalities, or without very gruesome, bloody fatalities. You can still do like the Hellfire, Scorpion takes off and burns someone, but then they just explode, but no bones or blood, just like they explode, and it's like an automatic KO if you hit someone with it. It's like a Final Smash that's probably an automatic KO. You could censor the moves. You could put some of the weapons in there, some of the like the moves and whatnot from these characters. Or if you really want to be very like careful, put in like Johnny Cage or Sonya Blade or Raiden, which you don't have to be like super violent like Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So like it depends on who you pick, and even then you could probably censor it a little bit, but not censor enough to the point where it's super censored and people get pissed off, but censor enough that it'll at least fit into the Smash Brothers realm. So I think Mortal Kombat has a lot of things going for it in both fronts, both good and bad, and things that have it make sense and not make sense. But like I'm kind of in the middle there. I really don't care if Mortal Kombat ever does make it into Smash Brothers, but I think it'd be pretty damn cool given that I grew up with the franchise just like I grew up with Street Fighter. Like it was cool to see Ryu and Ken add the Smash Brothers. It'd be cool to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You can make a really fun character. A lot of fans would be happy. It would fit like the dream of Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter that people have been wanting and doing Mugen for years on, and it's representing their iconic Western-based franchise, which we don't have a whole lot of in Smash Brothers, and I think that's one, just like Doom, that easily fits the bill. If they ever add more Western franchises, Nintendo or otherwise, those are definitely ones I would kind of be going for because of what they do and mean and represent in this, in gaming. And also, be fair, Mortal Kombat, most of the games besides like 3 of them have always been on Nintendo systems. The original 2, 3, 4. Mythology Sub-Zero, Deadly Alliance, Deception, all of them have been on it, and I would hope they would